Hi everyone. I'm going to be going live today because I want to do this. I want to do this every day for the next 30 minutes too. And that's 28 days. I'm going to be painting something with watercolor pencils. It's not something I'm used to. I'm used to watercolors. I'm not used to watercolor pencils. So it's going to be fun figuring it out, and hopefully at the end of World Watercolor Month I will be able to handle watercolor pencils and make the most of all the wonderful supplies I have. So join me. I'll try and be here at 11 every day because that's when I have a quiet house. And and a quiet house is important when you're trying to figure something out, right? So so we'll get started. Let me flip the camera. Okay, I am going to show you all these wonderful supplies I have. Oops. Now it's saying that my camera isn't. Yeah. Yes. So we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. So as you can see, I have the Faber-Castell watercolor pencils, set 24, set of 24, set of 48, and I have a beautiful, stunning Brewster watercolor set of 72, which is not even opened. It's brand new, still in its packaging. And then I have this foreign pencil. I'm going to say foreign because it was sent from abroad, not necessarily, I don't know where it's from, but this long thing is an assortment of pencil colors with 10 charcoal, 10 artist pencils, 10 watercolor pencils, 10 metallic pencils, and 10 sketching pencils. So I have 10 more watercolor pencils here, although how that can compare to my 72 set Brewster set, I don't know. Look, we'll give it a try. There's no harm, right? So there's a lot of stuff. I have a lot of stuff. Today I'm going to continue with the first pack I opened, which was my Faber-Castell 24 set. They are not in the best shape because I think it's quite old, and that's no one's fault except mine, because when you get art supplies, you shouldn't keep them for so long. And I'm correcting that now because I want to learn how to use watercolor pencils and figure it out um, one day at a time, all of this month. So I'm definitely going to use some watercolor paper, and let me just pick up some paper that I have. So because I want to do this in a bit of a hurry, when I say hurry, not hurriedly, but quickly, without spending too much of time, I am going to make it small. So this is again watercolor paper that is A5 size, and A5 also is a little big by my standards for what I'm trying to achieve. So I'm going to cut this in half, making it an A6. Is that right? It's A6? Yeah, A6. Right. Although that sounds like the brand A6. So weird. Alright, so getting down to measuring, and this I'm probably going to do this and keep it ready next time instead of wasting time, because if I cut down all my sheets to an A6, I won't be wasting time later on. So 1021, so 10.5 and 10.5 somewhere lower, and that's it. The reason I'm doing it on loose paper and not in my sketchbook is because I don't, at the end of the month, I would like to have a collage of all the work that I've done, the watercolor illustrations we've made. And if I have to do that, it can't be in a book. I'll have to keep flipping through. So I thought this would probably be a nice way to do it. So I'm going to just cut up my paper. This is 200 GSM watercolor paper, not 300 GSM, so it's rather easy to cut. I usually cut it with a paper cutter, but I don't want to pull out my cutting mat right now. Alright, so this is my A6 size, one for today, one for tomorrow. So today's prompt as given by the Doodle Factory. Aditi has given us a challenge. She gives us one every single day, and I'm so grateful for it because I usually lose time looking for a suitable subject or topic. Although watercolor month usually has plenty of prompts. They have prompts, but they don't have references, so I have to still go hunt for references. And Aditi has shared today's let me see where it is. Yeah, there it is. So the prompt is this bunch of tomatoes. I'm going to just say tomatoes because if I say something else, I will revert back to tomatoes. These tomatoes are very, very cute. I like the fact that they are transitioning, in color, and it's really nice. Now, how are you going to achieve this with pencil colors? That is another question altogether. But we'll give it a try. Okay? So the colors, I'm going to just pick the colors that I want first before I get down to it. I will have to play with some greens, so maybe pull out all the greens. Definitely a little bit of yellow, but maybe not bright yellow, so yellow ochre. I'll keep the other yellow handy. So there's just too many pencils and I don't want to go up and down. I'll just pull out the ones I think are best suited for today's activity. So red, of course, red. So I'm going to keep red, orange, pink, and what is this color? Also another red. Yeah, what red? No idea. I'm just going to keep all of that. And finally, to darken anything, you need black. So I'm going to keep a little bit of black. Well, I have this color, which is what? Again, I don't know what it is. It's a darkish color. Maybe good. My black is almost gone. So this is one big problem with watercolor pencils, especially like when you're working with a set that is as old as mine. It is the lead or the pigment that they've kind of used as lead here is disintegrating, and I was wondering what to do. Does that mean that I can't use the set at all? So I'm salvaging right now. So what I do is when I sharpen and I manage to get, or sometimes I even you know it's not filing, what is it, you use the blade to carve out to sharpen the point of this pencil. That's like that's the best way to get some point before it disintegrates again. So if I get a little bit like I did for this orange here, you'll see this orange, I've sharpened it. So if you do it to get it to this level, you can kind of start making some marks, and whatever disintegrates you can keep saving it on a piece of paper and then activate it with water. So I'll show you how that works. I'll keep the black even though it's broken. And I don't think I need any of these colors, any of them really, do I? I think not. If you need something, I'll always come back. Now this set comes with a brush, although I'm not very happy. It's like really hard. It's yeah, the set is really old. So let's see how long we can use it, if we can keep it up or not. So that's that. And the next thing is I'm going to go in a little, zoom in a little bit. Is that right? Okay, that looks good. So small scale, and let's just draw directly uh, in our pencil colors or in our watercolor pencils. So I'm going to just start with display. I need to keep my phone on so that I can see it and it doesn't switch off on me. Okay, starting somewhere here is that little branch, right? Goes to the left, goes to the right, comes down a little bit, goes to the right, and I'm making it very very basic. Look at the way I'm drawing it, not bothering with too much. We'll get to the bothering part a little later. Just see if we can just fit everything here, down, sticking out. Okay, I'm trying not to complicate this. I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. Okay, so this is how I do simple. Okay, if this is done, I'm going to start putting in the, I'll take the lighter green and start putting in, and start putting in the tomatoes. So this tomato here is rather small, not too big, and then there's one behind. As you can see, the pencil is not even marking properly. It's fine, don't worry. I'm just being concerned about the tomatoes that are supposed to be, you know, on top of other tomatoes, so just trying to be conscious of that. So there's one here. Now I'm going to draw the one that is behind here, because otherwise it would have been covered. Okay, so that's one. This one comes in here, and then with that, oh, there's one here. There's one sitting here, somewhere here. Okay, then we have the red ones, but I'm going to go with orange, and I will start here, somewhere here. Now they are getting a little bigger. This is just my observation, but they are getting a little bigger as they go higher. That's one. And there's one that's kind of sitting a little flatter than that. I'm not doing this in pencil because I mean, what's the point? Let's just do it. Alright, here there's already a case of unintended mistake in proportion. Doesn't matter. I'm going to just go ahead and proceed. There you go. That's one here. And finally one over here, which is on its side. Okay, overall that's how the plant is. Now I'm going to go in with the same, maybe this green, and let's thicken up things. So this is the stem coming in, a little bit of that leaf. So the top of these tomatoes are so pretty. They are, you really have to capture them. You can't not. It kind of joins in like this. Okay. And I'm going to just assume that's how it is. Yeah, that's it. The stem is a little darker on this side, on the right side. Why is my camera tilting? Okay. Now there is this stem that goes out here. It's a very awkward looking stem with a little bit downward and stuff going. I should know the technical names, but I don't. So I'm going to just keep quiet, not give it a name. No point giving it rubbish names that I don't, that are wrong. Okay, so here these shapes come in rather flat because it's facing us. Whoops, and this is exactly what I was talking about. Pencil top breaking. So can I continue? Let's see if I can. Okay, a little bit. So, oh, it's getting blunt. That's not good. So it's disintegrating. That's exactly what it is. And I'm not going to worry. Let's get on with the dark color, another dark color. Fortunately, I have another green. Tomorrow I'm going to definitely use the other set. Okay, that comes down. Stems. It's probably going to be a little complicated, I feel. Somehow there's just so many of these. There's something obviously there. And there is definitely one more that comes out here. Okay, I'm winging it now. A lot of it is being... It's just weird. What else? Okay, let's make these slightly thicker. And wherever they join, there is a little bit of this happening. Yeah, not looking so great. And that's how pencil colors are initially. Now I'm going to go in with all the shading. So when I start, I'm going to put in a little bit of yellow here, here, a lot of that here. And I like this yellow ochre. It has that nice yellow that does look like it's ripening. Then I go in with the... So there's a shine on these tomatoes and I'm going to leave that shine there. And I'm going to get... Oops! I really need to control the pressure on this. But you know what? Every time these things disintegrate, I'm going to do something. Because we need to do something. So I'm going to keep this strip of paper here. You see this paper? I was also already doing a lot of things with it. I had this red kept over here. Now I have a green. And where is the other one? Are they? Light green. So I'm going to save these little pieces that break. You'll see why. For now, let's just keep it safe so it doesn't get lost. Excuse me. Okay, now there's a shine over here, which is okay. Then a shine somewhere here. Can't see it too much, but it's here. This one also has a shine somewhere here, so I'm going to just keep that there. Then over here, the green is mixing a little bit with the yellow, but it still has a shine on top. And then finally we have reached what is clearly an orange shade. So I'm going to start putting a shine here. Okay, orange shade. Now I'm being a little careful because of the many tips that I have broken, and I'm going to not press too much but go over the paper a few times with the color so I can preserve some part of it, and then darken this color with a little bit of the next shade of red. Yeah. Then we go on to the side. So again I'm going in with maybe yellow first. So a little bit of yellow, shine, orange, orange and red. Oops. How much should you press? Well, you can actually press more, but I'm being a little careful. I'm being careful because every time I press it, the lead, the pigment that's supposed to hold out doesn't hold. Okay. Alright, now that these are done, I'm going to go on to the top ones, which are also have a little bit of yellow on them. So again, shine. You can barely see the shine on this. There's a little bit of shine here and a little bit of shine over here, a little bit of yellow on this side, and that's it. I'm going to take away the yellow and get on to the orange. Do we have orange? Yes, we do. So a little bit of orange. Really being careful with this orange. I don't want it to break. Really don't need it to break. Okay, should be enough for now. And the red may be a little stronger, so I can although by this point the red is getting quite strong, quite dark, so we may need to darken this red. And what I'll do to darken it, I'll tell you what I'll do. Oh, there's one more here. Sorry, forgot about this. I think this one missed a little bit of yellow, so I'm going to put it in here, because once the water touches it, it's just easier if the color was there. So here also it's turning yellow, but it's also a little orange, so just put in a little bit, wee bit of orange here, just to, and the green, we can just deepen the green on this side without losing the shine. Yeah, just deepen it a little bit so that there's more green to play with eventually. Here we need to, yeah, these are fine, I think. I'll just darken this portion. Darken this bit. So the purpose of darkening it is, to be honest, is just to be able to see also the shape that we are making here, because when you don't press enough, you don't have enough of a shape to work with. Okay, I'm not coloring in this white section because I want it to be very light green. So the moment my brush touches this area, it will all become light green. I don't think it needs any extra green. Whereas this part of the branch, I could definitely put in a little color. That should be it. Okay, that's it for now. I'm going to now take my brushes. Sorry about all these adjustments. It's like my phone is constantly moving. Yeah, that's better. Is it straight? It's not looking straight to me. Something's off. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it. Keeping this aside, let's get on to the brush. Now all I'm doing is taking water. This is my jar of water and it's not the cleanest. And I'm going to keep it here somewhere close by. I'm not using many brushes. I'm just using a size 0 and a size, I think it's a size maybe size 4 or 2. I'm not sure. Any case, doesn't matter. I'm going to use one of these two small sizes and try and get the color in. So how about I start with the green, because why not? So I'm going to just wet with watercolor pencils. You have to really be careful not to put too much of water, and that is something I was doing quite quite often actually. Just dumping a big puddle of, like a big blob of water, and then expecting it to work nicely. So it activates, but it needs very little water to activate. So try not to overdo the water that your brush holds. The moment the water lands on the pigment, it just changes, it's like magical. See? And I think now that the thing is getting smaller, thinner, I'll change to my size 0. Changing to size 0, and I'm gonna put these little, see how they darken? So the water touches it and it becomes like beautiful. Look at the spread. So striking a balance in the water quantity, that is a little challenging. That's what I found personally. But now it's slowly, now that I've done 2 or 3, it's slowly changing. I really now only take a little bit of water. Also, the other thing is, when you activate this paint by adding water to it, it's quite nice because it becomes that pigment that joins it it it, gets carried by the bristles or the hair, brush hair, into other parts. So I can always paint some other section which needs a little bit of green by just touching the green in one area. It kind of transfers itself onto the brush and it can be used somewhere else. So that I like that. Look at that. Sudden pop of color when the water is added. Now for the tomatoes themselves. So I'm going to stick to the size 0 because I get the feeling that my control over the water that I pick is still not all that great. I'm still using it like watercolor, actual watercolor. Oh, look at that. Look at the blend. Isn't that pretty? Look at the difference. Like if I hold this up, look at the difference between that one and the ones that are still, dry, as I have a dry pencil-like application. It's so lovely. Okay. Now, although I have painted this in quite, what I thought was dark, I'm not very happy. I think I need to get darker. So I bring in the pencil, which is darker, which is like a pinkish red, and I decide to put in a little bit of color while it is wet. Now this is not very good for the nib, the tip of your pencil. It's not very good because it kind of disintegrates sometimes when the water touches it. So be a little careful. Now I've put in a little bit very roughly, but if I go in with water, activate it, it spreads quite well. There you go, see? So that straight away darkens the tomato a lot. Okay, next. So we have a tomato here which also needs to be darkened a little more. I'm not happy with the darkening, so I'm going to darken it here. See? Okay. And I'm going to darken a little bit on this side, not too much, because whatever is your dark color, it will spread. So let's go back in. Let's touch this gently. Now if you are asking me whether to start with the darker color or the lighter color, I'll be honest, I don't know. I am playing around and I'm exploring this, and I will tell you when I figure it out. Right now I'm going from dark to light, which is a very opposite of watercolor um, kind of activity, uh, kind of thing to do, because in watercolor we always go from light to dark. But anyway, let's figure it out. Okay, so 2 are done. Now let's get to the third. Again, now since I know, I'm going to darken it a bit here. Portions that don't reach out into the light so much, you can darken it. Again, I'm being very wary of darkening because the pencil does not hold up under pressure. So just have to be a wee bit careful. Wee bit careful. Okay, let's maybe this time start from light, so the yellow gets activated. And because I am actually scouring around these little leaves, trying not to get them colored, that 0 is so important. Size 0 is so important. Really moving around these shapes very carefully. Yeah, a lot of fine work in this particular example. On to the next. I like how I fix things as I go, so I like this fixing. The fixing of colors like this, changing, realizing you need a darker shade, things like that. See? And it looks so crude. I always think so crude. Okay. But when you put water, it's all alright. It's like the watercolor takes over and says, no, no, I'll sort it out. Okay. A little bit of yellow, activate that, move it into the orange. Nice time to straighten out any shapes that are misbehaving is when we add the water. Okay. A little bit of yellow. Because there isn't too much of water being used, it's like really sparing use of water. It dries very quickly. That I have to admit. Okay, on to the ones that are slightly greenish yellow orange. So this part is yellowish. And the shine. Now if I feel like that orange, ooh, my mistake. I just picked it up. So remember these paints that I told you about? These colors that are dry, and this is where you can actually just put water on them. They get activated on paper. This is just a piece of paper. They get activated and you can actually put that in here. See? I needed a little bit of that orange color and have it blend in. There you go. Now the green is not dark enough, so I can, okay, how about we take the green that we have on the paper here. I'm just going to activate it again. See, the moment I put water on it, it's activated and it starts to get so pigmented and lovely it looks. So I'm going to just maybe this is too dark. I should just take the other one, the sap green one. I don't know if you can see it. This is the sap green one that broke. See how pigmented it is? Okay, so take that and apply it here where I see a nice green patch. Yeah. Then we continue on to this green one here. That, the one at the back really, it's hard to get there, hard to reach it. Now this needs to be a little greener and I'm not getting the green that I want. It's looking green alright, but this has a little less yellow. So maybe I put too much yellow. Okay, we'll darken it as we get to the end. Okay. Okay, so now I feel like I feel like my green could have become darker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the green that's here, okay, activate it a little more. This is the darker of the two greens, and then start shading this portion. See, take a little bit of that and just put a few highlights because it is darker at certain places and we haven't caught that darkness. So one more way to get that darkness out, to be very honest, is to add a little bit of black, and I'm just going to put that in here. I don't want to put it on the paper because the black has lost its point. Black or grey or whatever the color was. So I'm just mixing it a little bit here and trying to see where I need to highlight. So this is one place here, then a little bit here. It's not very visible, mildly visible. Okay, let's put one over here that's nice and dark. It's actually shades of that same I don't know, sepal. I can't for the life of me remember what the word is. You know what? I see that there is a fruit here which I missed because of all that's happening there. So I'm going to draw that in if I can. If not, I'm going to just leave it. Let's see if there's space to draw a form. Okay, there's one dark here. A little bit here. Okay. Now Not the best, but okay. Here. Now for a little bit of dark color. So I will take the maroon or the pink or whatever is this color. Now just outline the fruit a wee bit. Now this one is quite a bit. So the fruit that I was talking about is right here at the back. You can see it, but you can't see it, kind of a thing. So I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'm just going to pretend like there's something red over there hiding behind in the gaps, and that's it. Leave it at that. Okay. Just deposited a little bit of black over there, you'll notice. Okay, and let's see whether reactivating that reddish black color. Ooh, very dark. Okay, when something is very dark, go spread it somewhere else also. That's my logic. Too dark, don't waste it, don't pick it off. Just go and put it somewhere where it can be useful. So that's what I'm doing. A little bit here. Okay. I'm not happy with the bottom tomatoes as much because somehow I feel like the outline is missing. There is a little bit of um, case of missing shape. It's there, but it's not there. So I'm just going to see if I can give it some nice shape. Now, of course, this is dark, but you spread it. See what I mean? So pick up a little bit more of green, and maybe over here because it's not dark enough. Let's put in a little bit, and then wet it and spread it. A little bit of darker green over here, leave it, don't get too caught up in it. Yeah, it's definitely the green that's not dark enough. Somehow it's just not standing out, so I will just put a small line here and there. Should be enough. This is how you can stay at the same painting for the next half an hour as well, because somehow you think you need to add more and more and more. And you can, but you should stop, right? You have to stop. Look at the shape. Look at the shape I've lost. Better. Better. Slightly. A wee bit. Okay. Let me not get into too much more. This is it for day 3 of 30. Maybe next time we have a bigger fruit, I'll be able to do something, fruit or vegetable, I'll be able to do something a little better. This is okay. But maybe also we can change the pencil colors. Let's see next time. Another day, another experiment. Alright, thanks for joining me. Those of you who did. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.